Alrighty, welcome everyone. This is another session of our Seasons Feelings Make Along. This is a different one than we have been doing. We've been focused a little bit on dealing with some of the tougher feelings that can happen during the holidays. We had a session with a therapist talking about fiber art therapy. We had a yogi come in, talk about sort of meditation and gaze just to deal with anxiety. And today I am happy to be focusing on nostalgia. I posted within the group on Stitchwell Social Club an article about how foundational nostalgic memories from childhood or from the past in general are to how we perceive joy in the future. And I for sure believe that. As some of you know, I just got back from a trip to one of my most nostalgic places from childhood, Casa Bonita in California. So it absolutely enforced that for me. And when I thought about nostalgia, because I am the age I am, I think about, my stuff tends to be my memories tend to revolve around some kitschier stuff, a lot of handcrafts that maybe um, now are considered retro and vintage, that really make me happy. And when I think of vintage and I think of kitsch, there is nobody who comes to my mind more than my dear friend of 20 plus years and fellow preacher of the crafty gospel, and that is my friend Jennifer Perkins, and she's going to be here. She is here lurking. I'll introduce her in a second. She is here to show us one of her many, many amazing crafts that can be used for the holidays, and honestly, this one from beyond that really lean into memories. So, without further ado, Jennifer Perkins, everyone.
Hi. Thank you
Hi.
for having me, Vicky.
Well, it's the only
I
way I see you these days.
I know, right? Exactly. It's like we
Here,
live less
here
than
are
a mile
trips to
apart.
Michael's.
I know, run into each other at Michael's or virtually,
Yep, that's
busy,
how it is.
crafty women. Um, so yeah, thank you for thinking of me for nostalgia. I do love a vintage inspired craft. And I too really kind of like tend to lean into nostalgia on all things, especially with the holidays. That's kind of, I do, I'm not saying I never buy new ornaments, but I do tend to go like vintage ornaments. And once I get those vintage ornaments, I should have grabbed one off the tree to show. Then sometimes I'll kind of spin it off into my own version. So, like say like those Busilla kits that would come as like felt and the sequins and the stitching and all the things. Like I always love those. I always pick them up. I'm never going to have the patience to do that kit
Right.
myself. But kind
So
of
what do
take
you do with them then?
they're all the well, you know me, I can't leave a craft thing at the store. Like I just, no
Yeah.
craft left
Oh, so
behind.
they just live somewhere?
I mean, do I have boxes of unfinished Busilla kits? Yes, I do. However, but I also like when I find them done, I always buy them. So,
Yeah. Oh, I see. Like in the thrift stores or whatever.
oh yeah. Like those like embroidered. Hold on, let me just grab one real quick. They're
I
right in
love.
front of me. I
And
got I
in
got
the
a
mean
whole
in the meantime, I am putting in the chat Jen's Substack. Jen, I'm not going to say got her start because did this in teens, but writing zines and her style throughout life, like if all of her posts, everything that she does really feel like you're inside a zine. So I highly recommend her Substack, and I am putting that in the chat. Okay,
yeah.
go.
Okay, so like these are the kind of little dudes I'm talking about. Like these little, like you know what I
Oh,
mean? These were little kids. And so,
oh, those are good. Yeah.
right. And so that's kind of what like led me down this wormhole of like using the photos. And then, as you know, like, I mean, I still have like all like a bunch of vintage Fisher Price toys, like the Barbie Dream House box, things like that I'll decorate with every year. My kids are like, what are those? But it's nostalgic for me or
Right.
you know what I mean? So it's still fun.
Yeah, ladies of a certain age. Does
Ladies of a
that work?
certain age, exactly, and gentlemen.
Yeah, and well, and just to explain, when Jen says like Barbie's townhouse, she doesn't mean like a holiday townhouse. Jen can turn really anything into a Christmas or Halloween decoration.
It's true. If you search my name and HGTV Christmas, there is a video of a home tour where I did the whole mantle in vintage toy boxes, like literally the store-bought boxes. So you can kind of see, get a vibe for what I'm talking about.
Okay, I'll put that in the chat while you talk to us a little bit about the origins of this craft because I remember the birth of it. And then dive right in. Oh, you know what?
Okay.
I'm actually gonna so everyone, if you cannot, I'm gonna spotlight it and I'm gonna take me out of the spotlight so there's more room. Do you want to talk to the camera too, or do you just want hands to show? Do you want
Probably
me to leave
both.
both up? Okay.
Both. I'm not going to do a whole lot of hand stitching.
Okay, I'm going to take myself out of it so they're bigger, but please, if you're watching, make sure that you can see the camera that has the little strawberry in it. All right, I'm removing myself. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to shout them out to Jen, or you can raise your hand and you can ask throughout. Jen is very much like I am, like just we roll with it. So ask away. Okay,
All right.
you're on.
Okay, here we go. All right, so you can see we have these little photo embellished ornaments that I made. Another thing that kind of is nostalgic or kind of makes you think about like your family during the holidays. And my mother passed, under 10 years ago. So like I kind of went on this kick where I was like doing all these crafts with like pictures of her, or I decorated a tree that the year that she got sick with all like orange and hot pink because that was the shag carpeting in my childhood home. So, a lot of kind of homage type things. So this was one of those things where I was like, I'm going to embellish some photos of her, which I had done separately. I'll show you. But then I was like, let's turn these into ornaments, that same concept. So, for instance, I keep wanting to go the other way. This is my mother in law here with the glasses. This is my mom, obviously not in her 70s. This is her like in the
It's
60s.
so weird to see her without glasses because that was her
Right, I know,
thing.
especially since she was like known for the funky
Yeah.
glasses.
You know what it is? What we realize now? It's because we knew her when she was older. Like I know that we know
Exactly.
the trick now.
Exactly. We know those glasses will hide a myriad of issues.
Deflect, deflect.
Exactly. And so then I have this one of my son and I, and then there's this one of my sister and one of her sons. So really what this is this cool stuff called sew-in fabric sheets. Mine, Vicky and I were just laughing about this before I got on camera, are like so old. Even the packaging is like kind of 80s, early 90s looking. You can still get these. I don't know that these brands specifically are still around, but if you
I'm gonna
look around,
pop in.
yeah, where
On
did
Am
you get yours?
just I broke my Amazon fast
Okay.
um for Christmas boycotting. And this one I got, so I'll show you. So this is Baby Clover and knitwear. It comes with both white, well, you can't really see, and cream. So,
Okay,
um,
nice.
and they're, I don't know if yours do. I bought them before where it was more like real thin cotton. This
Mhm.
has, I don't know if you can tell, it actually has more of that like, um,
Okay, yours is
patching.
actual canvas.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay,
So,
so you can do the canvas. Mine are like cotton fabric.
yeah. So either cotton fabric's probably easier to get in I don't know. Have fun.
I mean, they
You can
both
find
work.
it,
And
find
and
it
here,
online.
and here's the thing. I'll
So,
show you an example later, but you can stitch on both canvas. I mean, I'm sure most of you know that. You can stitch on canvas or on this fabric. And obviously, as Vicki and I showed you, both can go through the printer. So it's really a matter of what you can find. I know for
yeah.
sure jacquard still makes a fabric that goes through. So you can get that. But either
So
way,
I'll see if I can find that while you're demonstrating.
yeah,
Okay.
do it. And then here is kind of what mine looks like. Mine is a cotton, but it does kind of feel like a canvas. And then on the back, it kind of has like, I mean, you can see mine's so old. It's like got the crinkles. But I think that backing just kind of helps stabilize the cotton so it'll like go through. So anyway, you need these sheets. The other thing you're gonna need is an embroidery hoop. La duh. Of course,
What size do you recommend?
I got kind of a bigger one just to show you guys. I mean, don't ask me to get out a ruler and tell you
I
exactly.
think they're about 4 inches. I only know that because I was trying to figure out what to print my photo at.
So like these are smaller. Like if
Like,
you want them like ornament size, these
yeah,
I got the little smallest ones that you could get for these. So, and then I used a little bit bigger one just to show you guys
yeah. I
or how to
think the
do.
smaller one's a 3 inch. I just happen to have one here. So
Okay, right.
if
You
that
okay,
helps
yeah.
people, that's the smallest one I've been able to find.
Yeah, that makes sense because that's
And
about
any
like
smaller would be really tedious to try and get the fabric in and stitch on too. So,
yeah, to do the detailed stitch. I mean, if you're that person that loves intricate detailed stitching, knock yourself out. I am that person that's like, let's get her done in one episode of a Netflix show and hung on the tree.
right.
So you need your hoop, obviously some scissors, and then I'm just going to use, oh Lord, my needle came out. This could be bad since I'm proud.
I
Um,
could take your camera off if you want.
oh my God, no, it's fine. And then you're going to need, floss, just regular floss and an embroidery needle. I got it. It's a Christmas miracle.
Are you using all strands together or do we have to do the
I
separating
I
the
am, you know
boffle?
me. I am not
Good.
I do enjoy the occasional embroidery project, but I am not advanced enough to be like, and then you remove 3 strands for this and four
Yeah.
strands for that.
I
Like,
mean, I believe in you, but it's a pain in the ass.
yeah, that's way above me. Vicky and I are old friends with a well-known embroidery artist who, has tried to show me those ways in years past, but it's like Vicky trying to teach me how to knit. It just didn't stick. So,
You were
um,
like,
what?
you fell into Snoresville. Although you do crochet on occasion, upon occasion.
I do. You did get me to crochet blankets for my children, and I still do, and I work with small children in an after school program. So I'm constantly teaching them how to crochet just a chain. And your book, Finger Knitting for Fun, is a huge hit up at the
Oh,
place where I
good.
teach. The kids are always like, show me how to finger knit. So, that is
Excellent.
a well-practiced tool.
I need to
Okay,
come
so
back in.
here is the picture of my daughter that I ran through the printer.
Look at that gorgeous.
I know, doesn't she look pretty? Obviously I was running out of ink, so she's a little liney, but you know what I mean? You get the gist, right? So what I
Mhm.
did is I just got like a regular photo. If you have an iPhone, you can do this. And then, within the settings to the filters, you can make it black and white, which I did. You don't have to, but I just kind of like the way the color, pops against the black and white. And then you can do, if you touch the photo within your iPhone, it'll like just make the photo and like remove the background. And then I printed that. So I was very proud of myself for figuring out that technology without having to summon a teenager to show me what to do.
If you
Okay,
use Canva too, now they have a background remover in one click for those of you that are more comfortable being on a laptop or whatever.
you can. Is that a paid feature though?
I have no idea. I
I
mean,
think
I pay for it because I live and die in Canva, but
I think it's a paid feature, but
really?
I thought maybe not, but either way, and you don't even have to remove the background. I mean, you can see
No,
it
I
with one of
didn't.
these. I mean, I didn't,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's not a necessary step. So anyway, so this is one of those fabric sheets. You can see it's got the backing on it that came out of the printer. So the first thing you're going to do is take it off, right? So it peels off for me,
Oh,
and then this is just like a sheet of cotton, right? It's just like, whee. And then
it's not sticky.
no, not at all. That just
Oh,
all that does is gives the cotton fabric some stability to go through your printer, to kind of keep it,
yeah.
I'm not sure what the word is, stiff. Okay, so I'm going to undo my hoop, right? And then, you'd kind of find a focal point for what you want. Obviously, I'm going to do her face. I should have adjusted this. This is a pro tip that I didn't take as the pro. I should have moved her head down lower from the top of the thing because, I'm going to have to kind of go like this
Yeah.
to get it. But I might also do her like over here, kind of catacornered. So I have a lot of negative space here.
For stitching.
Yeah, for stitching, so I could embellish. Then you're going to put see, that's still too high. Let's move that up a little bit. Then you're going to put your hoop back on. Your outer hoop. Y'all know how to put on an embroidery hoop. And I'm just using like a wood one just because at the end, that's kind of what I embellished. right? So then tighten your hoop back up. And then you can trim this excess if you want. I mean, obviously you want, but I'm not going to do it right this second. But all
So
right. So
you so don't you don't recommend doing it ahead of time, just in case it slides or whatever?
what do you mean? Yeah,
Cutting it, yeah.
in case it slides, I like to leave it like this. Also, in theory, since this is cotton, let's say I decide like, oh, I don't want to put this in an embroidery hoop. I want to put this in a picture frame. I could, take this hoop off and then put it down here further and embroider more and
Oh yeah.
then iron it out, these wrinkles, because it's cotton, it'll iron and put it in a frame.
Yeah, you like options.
You know what I'm saying? So until I've like made that life choice, I don't want to like cut anything yet. That's just me.
Yep.
So the next thing you're going to do is once you have this, you're going to embroider. I mean, just like, any kind of little pattern look that you want. I could add, I've done it before on a canvas with a photo of her where I added, for Valentine's Day, I added heart-shaped glasses for her. I've done it before in one of my books where I just kind of did a random pattern background. But what you'll find is like, I mean, since it's literally just cotton, let's see, I kind of like to do, let's see, I don't really want to give her glasses because as a self-conscious teenager, I know that she would not, love me embellishing her face in any which way. So I'm going to do, maybe just some like radiating stitches in Christmas colors, like out from the sides. Another thing I can do is if I had a lot of time, I could do like a French knot of flowers like around in her hair, kind of similar to how this one was done. Those are cute, like in somebody's hair. Let's say you had a photograph of, I don't know, your parents together at Christmas from years past. You could embroider like a little thing of mistletoe hanging over their heads. It's really, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, and for the knitters and crocheters here, which is I think everybody, also you can if you have some where people are wearing knitwear, you might want to do like little designs that kind of mimic the knit stitches or just call them out or draw, just sort of highlight them in some way um, as well.
Yeah, like
Craft
say
on craft action is all I'm saying.
exactly. So like say this picture of my son and I.
Oh yeah, that's where I got the idea
Okay, good.
from
Yeah.
you.
So I'm wearing like a sweater dress in that photo, and then like stitched on top of it to make it look like
Yeah,
knitwear. So, I technically kind of knitted there. It was like faux knitting.
I get it.
All right. So you guys kind of get the gist. I'm not going to do this like whole thing just to show you. But so you would do like this. But however, right before I got on this call, I had an epiphany because then it brought me back to thinking about these guys. And I was like, but what if I added some beads? What if I went in and added some beads and sequins and really made this thing sparkle-tastic? So I went and I got some sequins because of course I have buckets of sequins. And I thought to myself, like, oh, I could like, oh, I lost my thread. Let me do this real quick. So you could also embellish. I mean, you can embellish it any which way you wanted to, but I just thought a whole bunch of sequins around would be cute because I mean, who doesn't love some sparkly additions to all the things? Y'all, my glasses are my vision has gotten so bad.
Well, while you're doing that, also like now I'm inspired. I printed out this picture here while you're doing that.
Do it.
I'm
Thank you.
popping in. Um, what was I saying? Speaking of middle age.
You got inspired.
Well, I had printed out this picture from an ad of Clover and me for Karen, and it's cute, and I dig it because I did it because of knitwear. But now I'm seeing you with Tallulah, and I'm thinking that those would be really great to hang over stockings
Oh,
on the
cute.
mantle,
Yeah.
so you know whose stocking is whose if you
Mhm.
celebrate Christmas. Um, or do you use as, like the gift tags or whatever for Hanukkah gifts or Yule gifts or Christmas gifts as well? So it's, just a little extra special that way. When you really highlight the face like that, it's a really good way
Mhm.
to use that as almost like a name tag.
Exactly. Well, and I got my needle threaded. But the
Okay.
other thing is, the
Helpful.
reason I actually started using this stuff is when Tallulah, my daughter, was first born, or even for her baby shower, which Vicky attended. We had a onesie making party, and we used a bunch of these fabric sheets as appliques. So you could applique it right on your stocking. You could do this and applique it on a jacket. Whatever tickles your fancy. Okay, so the sequined idea. So what you would do is like, so let's say, let me turn her around so she's facing me. I'm kind of in reverse here. Um, let's say maybe I would put like a little flower in her hair because I think that would be kind of cute over here, right? So I would go up through the bottom for this. And then I would put the largest sequin first. Then I like to stack my sequins when I do this. I do all kinds of sequin projects for the holidays and for Halloween. And I call these like sequin sandwiches. Like I kind of like stack several together to get the effect I want. Let me move my mother-in-law out from the way because she's holding this other bead I want. Then I'm going to finish it off with the bead. Okay. So I'm going to pull my string through, not all the way, obviously. Then I'm going to go, let's see. Then I'm going to go back. How did I do this first? Then
You
I'm going
probably
to
went
go,
over once. Oh, did you go? You probably went back over just the top bead and back
yes, I did.
into
I
the
went
hole.
back over the top bead, and then you're going to go back through the sequins. Here's the thing that's tricky though, is when you do this, it's probably the kind of situation where you're only going to get to do one because it will split your thread. So you're going to have to do it kind of separate each time, if that makes sense. So like as to where if you were embroidering like this one, I could do a continuous stitch all the way around. Sometimes when you do this, I mean, if you're great and you don't split the thread, awesome. You don't have to do it that way. But if you split the thread, you might have to do these like individually and then like tie it off. Plus, you may not want like all your stitches all over there. And with this thin cotton, like if I wanted another one like here, right? I would have to go like this all the way across with this thread. And then
Yeah.
that's going to put, you know what I mean? You know, not to do that. So anyway, so that's just another kind of fun idea
Yeah, I like that a lot.
to add a sequin in a bead situation. So I kind of thought that was fun to spice it up with some sequins. Once these are done and you're totally ready for action, I went in and I painted these first. I probably painted it first before I did it. Because I did these years ago before I actually stitched it so you don't get paint on your thing. But what I did do after the fact is I went in and added some glitter ribbon trim. And I'm notorious every time I make ornaments, either for me or online things like this, people are always like, why don't you have a hanger? But since I do faux trees all the time, like I don't really need hangers. Like they just kind of like nestle into
Yeah.
branches. I mean, you could put a hanger right here.
Yeah, it's got the little thing.
Yeah,
Good
and
to
if
go.
this part bothers you, I left it because I was trying to show for a project that these were in fact embroidery hoops. I mean, you could definitely put like, a pom pom or a bow or, some sort
Put a
of,
bird on it.
yeah, put a bird on it. I mean, that's too big. But you know what I mean? Put something up there, cover up
Yeah.
that part and it looks like an ornament. But these are great gifts. Like,
Yeah.
if grandma wants some pictures of her grandkids, that kind of thing, they're super fun and easy to do. But I wanted to show you guys. I'm not missing any questions, am I? My new
Nope.
favorite word
So
is
good.
sparkle
So good.
time.
But if you have them, please either raise your hand or just put it in the chat and I will
Exactly.
scroll on
Um,
through.
I have a couple of other examples I was going to show you guys of like.
Oh wait, let me bring your face. Oh wait, is it just hands or do you want your
I'll
face
just
too?
show hands. It's okay.
Okay.
So this is that same photo of my mom.
So good.
Yeah, but this was like it's very similar, but it's an image transfer that I did onto a canvas. But you can go and then I embellished it. But the thing is like a lot of times, like if you go to say like Walgreens or CVS, one of those places, it'll do like a cheap print on a canvas
Hmm.
for inexpensive. I have done that many a time where I've had a photo printed onto a canvas and then you can stitch, literally right into your canvas from the back. So, you don't, if you didn't do the printer paper version, you could do this. And I'm also a big fan of like your wall, like your art on your wall is not glued in, right? It's not there forever and ever. So if you want to switch it out with holiday art, why not? And you could have, I could have done a version of this and done it with like holiday colors if I wanted to. So that's something to think about too, that you can print those on canvas. And then another thing I did, and this is using that fabric. This was in my book for teens. And these are like little like applique dolls of some of my
Oh my God, those are hilarious.
I know they're hilarious. The girls are older now and would probably kill me for
Oh,
showing
I love it so
public.
much though. So
So
we used to have both of those little girls in our brownies group, Girl Scout group that we were the leaders of back in the day.
exactly. And so like I printed this part out, like their faces in color. So that fabric will obviously go in color, right? And then I appliqued with just some like various fabrics and then added little necklaces. But you could stitch before you, and then I just glued it together because I'm a firm believer in why so if you can glue. So then I just like glued the sides together. But this is a fun project. Like you could make this version of your ornament. Do you know what I mean? Like smaller,
Yeah.
but you could make little like people shaped or whatever. They don't have to be like just dolls that sit. You know what I mean? These could be the actual like ornaments themselves.
Yeah, and if you felt backed it or did a really heavy hand words, not webbing, not fusible, interfacing, you could
Yeah.
so it's stiff enough, that would, that's probably fine. Otherwise it might kind of
Yeah,
fold over itself.
exactly. So this kind of gives you an idea of what I do with those ornaments.
So
Hopefully,
good.
you guys are feeling, inspired. I'm kind of putting all the things around here. Ta da!
So good. So good. I have not thought about these for a minute, and now it's all I want to do for the next bit of time. And I'm angry spice that I have other work to do today because they're so fun. Um, I would love it if you would tell everybody else what you're working on, what you're teaching for the next, I mean, few months if you want, like whatever you want, because we have people all over the place. I know you're kind of homebound for the holidays. Jen's also in Austin, in fact, like less than a mile and a half from me, and but does travel. You do travel, and you're
Oh
probably
yeah, I
traveling in the spring and all the things. So
I do.
like I said in the chat, and I'll repost it. There is Jen's Substack, and for those of you that are in the Make Along group, I'll also do a post with the recording, and I'll do show notes with all these links as well. So start there, and then as you say it, Jen, I'll see if I can do the Googles and find.
Find the things.
Yeah.
Okay. I see Reagan has or is it Regan has a question. Mine does say it needs to be for inkjet printers. I see your
Yes.
question. I also have she asked if the sheets have
Oh,
to
I
be
see it. I was in the wrong
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
I also have a thermal printer um that I use for mailing labels, but like I'm wondering if I cut these down to the size of the mailing labels, if it'll work in a thermal printer. I'm kind of wanting to try this. Love this. We'll be doing a canvas of my dog.
Yeah. I
That's
love that idea. I
I
love that.
love that idea. Who doesn't love a pet craft?
Yeah.
Please
It's
post
a
and share.
nice ode too, like if you want to like remember a pet and put them out every year. That's lovely.
Exactly. That's such a cute idea. I love it. Okay, so as Vicky said, my Substack is linked there. And basically, Substack, if you don't know, is kind of a fancy term for blogs. Like a lot of people are using it as a blog now, right? Like Dolly Parton just started a Substack.
Love
It's
it.
basically a blog, right? And what I use it for is it's basically my newsletter, but I also do like thrift haul videos or craft supply haul videos, or I'll write about like why I love vintage books. So it would be awesome if you signed up. There's a free subscription and a paid one. A full disclosure, I'm not always great on the paid part, so I would start with free and move on. New Year's is coming, and that's what resolutions are for. Here, if you live in Austin, this weekend I'm teaching at Figment Creative Labs. I'm also teaching there again in January. That is the primary place in Austin where I teach. I'm teaching little diorama classes this coming weekend. I also, if you don't live in Austin, I have tutorials for those online, probably on my website as well as HGTV. I in January here in Austin, I am teaching Dolly Parton junk journals where I use her. I'm really not that huge of a Dolly Parton fan. That's like twice in 2 minutes. But
Yeah, you are.
I mean, I am, but it's like, not that big that I'm just
I
like,
mean,
Dolly, Dolly, Dolly. But anyway, so I'm going to be making like junk journals of her class or of her cake boxes. So that'll be fun. But if you do not live in Austin, I am also going to be at Craftcation this spring, which is in Ventura. I am going to be at the Society of Wildflowers, which is another kind of convention, but it's kind of more like woo woo and crafts. That's also in California. And
where is that?
that one is going to be, it was in Laguna last time, year before last. And this time it's going to be in, she told me, and I can't remember, some like mountainy area of California, not like Yosemite, but
Big Bear, maybe?
maybe, yeah, around in there. Like I know there were mountains involved. So I was like, oh,
There's
okay.
only so many mountains there.
Exactly. So
Unless it's vaguely mountains, and then it might be Burbank. So I don't know.
exactly. Then it might be there. The other place I'm going to be in 2027, I am working with a group called Creative Art Safaris, and I am
Oh,
doing
yeah.
a retreat in India. So we're going to go to
You're
Delhi.
killing me. Is there a link to any of these anywhere?
Oh yeah, there's a link to definitely to if you go to Creative Art Safaris.
No, no, no. I mean like all of your classes.
Oh yeah, the best place to go, honestly, is if you go to my Instagram and then you go to my link tree. It has
Okay.
a link to all the
Okay.
things.
I'll do that. Okay. Keep going.
Okay, so in 2027, I'm going to do the retreat to India where we're going to learn about like paper making. We're going to do block printing. We're going to go to vintage markets, to Taj Mahal, um,
Good.
a tiger glamping situation. So there's going to be a lot of fun stuff there. And then, gosh, that's kind of it. That's all the
That is
places,
a lot. A
all the
lot.
traveling, all the online classes. You can follow Instagram and Substack are probably the best places to follow me for new stuffs.
Yeah, they're so good. One of these years I am going to make one of those trees out of all the brooches. I've been saying that since I was like 7. We
Oh,
had one too that also lit up. I mean, we didn't
oh
have it,
yeah.
but I coveted it. And then your wreaths, so
Yeah, I
fun.
just had the wreath workshop. That was a fun one. So yeah,
So I was trying to find a picture of the Dolly Parton junk journals because I know I saw it.
I
Because
have a
I have
video.
a couple of boxes
You
of
do. I have a video
unused.
on TikTok. There's a you on my YouTube channel. There's a video. Like
Okay,
there's all kind. I mean, you can
I'll
find
find
it.
it.
It's on my Instagram feed too, but they're fun.
Oh, you love a scavenger hunt, Jen Perkins.
I do. It's true. I truly.
I'll find it. I'll find it.
So, oh,
That's
and
it.
I should mention too, I have 2 Etsy stores.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, I have the Jen Perkins art, which is I kind of joke and say Jennifer Perkins at or Instagram is my like my HGTV like outward face, and then Jennifer Perkins art on Instagram is more my like wackadoodle stuff. So it's kind of the same with my Etsy store. So Jennifer Perkins art has kind of like my hand painted stuff, which is a little like wackier, and then I have the Huntress Gatherer, which is more vintage stuff.
Okay, I've got so that first one is the art,
Mm-hmm.
and then this just says Jennifer Perkins. That doesn't say Huntress. What did you say? Huntress Gatherer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's one of those kind of things like where the name seemed like such a good idea, and then later you're like, I should have
Mhm.
just stuck with my name.
Well,
I was thinking the other day about how many names we've gone under. I was
I,
just like, we've been the Austin Craft Mafia. I've been Naughty Secretary Club. We've been Craft Out Loud. Like, how many brand names have you and I alone come up with?
well, and then not to mention like our show, Stylicious, and then Better Off Red. Didn't we do that
All
for a
the
bit?
things. Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of things. There's
Creative
a lot of
queso.
creative queso. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. Well,
I love
because when
coming up
we
with names.
started, SEO wasn't a thing, or hashtagging wasn't a thing. So everything we tried to do as many puns, and we tried to do, whatever. Like we were trying to be all like whip smart and clever, and then nobody could find us. So we had to get all boring and like
Exactly. I guess I'll
vintage
just use my
ornament.
name. Exactly.
So yeah. Well, so fun. I love it. Now that it's cooled down, maybe we can. Oh, the name is Huntress Gatherer. I'm working on it, but for whatever reason, that was harder for me to find. Um,
It should be in those links from my that link tree thing for my Instagram.
oh, I just grabbed the classes one. I'll go back. I'll put it in the show notes for people to watch later for sure. And I'll have this up within 24 hours. For those of you that are watching live, if you're watching it
Yeah.
recorded, it's already there.
Good job.
Huzzah.
That
All right,
sounds
love it.
nice. I mean, I got
What
fatty
I
liver. I got like level
somebody's
1 scarring. Got a
that seemed loud. And that didn't sound good.
Yeah.
That sounded like a stat situation. I love it. What I don't love is how long it's been since you and I have hung out. So now that it's cooler, let's meet halfway for a walk again soon. Thank you
Do
so
it.
much for doing this and being here. Love you.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.